Work is now complete on the Queen's Rowbarge, Gloriana. She has been regilded at Foxes Marina and Boatyard. That means it has been repainted with 23 carat gold leaf. Traditional gilding that has made this boat look spectacular. So if you haven't seen it before, it's back at St Katharine's Dock, looking very splendid. Not quite in its normal position, but it's back there looking brand new. Whilst the first row barge, or royal row barge, Gloriana, was built over 250 years ago, this particular one was built in 2012 to celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. It's an 18-boarded row barge, all wood structure, including fully ornate gilded carvings. Very bright, brilliant work. Her design and build replicate the structures and techniques that have changed a little since the clinker-built longboats of the Viking age. But these are still rowed by humans. Beautiful, isn't it? To achieve this work, it was actually disassembled, painted, and then the gold leaf was applied. Where is St Katharine's Dock? Well, there's Tower Bridge. This side of it is the Tower of London. On the other side of Tower Bridge is St Katharine's Dock. And of course, the bridge does lift to let cruise ships in. If you're wanting to see the amazing sight of the bridge lift and let a cruise ship in, quite simply, the website is called Bridge Lifting Times, and there you have a list of all the ships that will pass under the bridge and when, and it's accurate. So you can see which ship is coming in when and where. Sometimes they're very early, you'll need to get in, and the nearest tube is Tower Hill. Once you've seen the ship come in, you've got time to go one way to see the Queen's Rowbarge, and then the other way to see the Tower of London.
Ships docking at Tower Bridge share their berth alongside HMS Belfast. Only the smallest ships can get under Tower Bridge and up the Thames. The Silverwind is 162 metres long, 22 metres across the beam, 17,400 tonnes. It houses 274 guests and has a crew of 239. The high-level walkways of the bridge span the north and south towers and are a great place to take in the spectacular panoramic views of London.
From St Katharine's Dock, you don't even need to come up to the road, because there is a walkway underneath the bridge which takes you along the bankside of the Tower of London.
The Tower of London has played an important part in London's history. It was founded in 1016 as part of the Norman conquests. It houses the crown jewels and officially belongs to King Charles III. The Tower of London is a medieval palace and has been an armoury, a treasury, a menagerie, a home to the Royal Mint and a public records office. Also a very famous prison with the two little princes and the Crays. It's said to be haunted by 13 ghosts, the most famous being Anne Boleyn, who haunts the Bloody Tower with her head tucked underneath her arm.
If you've started at Tower Bridge, you're kind of in the middle. You could go west to St Paul's Cathedral or the National Theatre. If you go east, you can go towards the docks and Canary Wharf. We'll show you both. You can just imagine the Thames in years gone by, a really thriving dock where ships came and go on their way out to the Caribbean or the Canaries, off to Spain, even off to Africa, everywhere. This Thames was a lot shallower. In fact, it was shallower because it went out. It was much wider. All of this is a new bank that's been built on top of well, actually sewers have been placed along here, as well as the underground. So there's a lot of engineering gone into here. It's made the Thames narrower, and actually the edge of it is deeper, though it's still tidal. If you dock at Greenwich in a ship, you may have to get a tender, because if the tide's out, It won't be deep enough to go right into the edge. Let's just talk Greenwich for a second, because you may dock there. There is the foot tunnel, the Cutty Sark, and then there's the Naval College with its ornate, wonderful halls. There is a very small market, which is worth a quick look, and more than enough pubs with shipped themes. What connects Greenwich to Tower Bridge? The Uber River taxi. If you are taking it, here's a stop you might like to look at. So this is Gandalf's pub. And not only is it Gandalf's pub, but it's where he lives. Yes, this is Sir Ian McKellen's pub, The Grapes. Behind the bar is Gandalf's staff, right behind the beer pumps. So yes, they do encourage tourists. Charles Dickens wrote about it in the opening chapter of his book Our Mutual Friend, which is why the pub is Dickensed all over with his pictures.
Gandalf's garden.
Artists Francis Bacon and Edward Wharf and film director David Lean have been neighbours to the Grapes. Let's leave Canary Wharf and the Grapes and head back towards Tower Bridge. The old docks here in central London, before they were renovated and turned into event spaces, pubs and offices, we used to use for old movies. I shot Dempsey Makepeace and Ham House of Horrors here. And now even old ships are being dry docked, like the Three Sisters here at Tobacco Dock, and turned into pubs. If you're going to walk west along the Thames, cross over because it's much shorter. It's the inside of the Thames Bends. And very near
is Southwark Cathedral with the Shard behind it, and right next door, Borough Market. You need to come here with an empty stomach. There is such a large variety of food and drink here. Which is that?
12 months.
12 months. So it's called Comté cheese. Same cheese. That's been matured for 12 months, that's been matured for 18 months, and that's been matured for 24 months.
Follow the Millennium Walk along the Thames for its various sights.
By the old Thameside Inn, you will find the Golden Hind. Off London Bridge is the Clink Prison Museum. It doesn't cost a lot to get in, but it might cost a lot to get out. Every few minutes there's a different attraction. All the world's a stage. Whose stage is it? It's Shakespeare, of course. Here's the Globe. An easy walk along the Thames and you'll come to the Millennium Bridge. Cross it and you'll get to St Paul's Cathedral. There's countless things to see. Behind me is the Tate Modern, and it has been known on occasion to have a Christmas market here. I can smell donuts, mulled wine, and they're singing Christmas carols. It's my personal favourite, the National Theatre. The other one was the statue of Laurence Olivier, but I'm not sure who these two are. With an easy stroll along the embankment, you can see the London Eye, which you can pre-book online, the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben.
And we started today in St Katharine Dock looking at the Queen's Rowbarge. But there's lots of great boats in St Katharine Dock. You could go anywhere. London is more than a day out, and it's more than a cruise port. There are so many places to see.
London's Charing Cross station is the nearest station to the Nell Gwyn Tavern. Let's go and find it. The Nell Gwyn Tavern was built on the site of the Old Bull Inn. It's in Bull Inn Court, and it was built there because it was said to be on the site of one of the houses she used to live in. It's one of London's treasures. Let's go and have a look. It features one of London's best jukeboxes and, come over here, there's a portrait of Nell on the wall. Royal's restaurant on Maiden Lane, just up from the Strand, has long been known for its celebrity diners, and this is where Edward and Lily would come for their private dinners. They would come in through this door, and they would come separately to avoid scandal. Just entering the very famous Royal's restaurant, which Lily Langtry used to tryst with Edward VII here. This restaurant is divided into two sections, and this part here is where Charles Dickens used to come and dine, and this part, the other part down there, is named after Edward VII because that's where he used to dine. So this is the very table where Lily Langtry would have sat with Edward VII, and there would have been a curtain across to give them some privacy from the main dining room. And just here is a portrait of Lily Langtry herself, and she signed it here.
Do see our separate film on the galleon Andalusia, which is visiting St Katharine's Dock. Or if you're interested in ships, the Vasa Museum on our film in Stockholm, Sweden.
The wreck was salvaged in 1961 after 333 years under the sea and is 98% original. In 1628, Vasa set sail on her maiden voyage, and here it is in all its glory, and then it sank in Stockholm harbour.
Modern ships and cruise ships have their weight right at the bottom, like the engines, but galleons have to have their cannons and cannonballs at the top, above the waterline.
My books all take place on modern ships, cruise crime novels, 8 in the series. Please start with Cruise Ship Heist and please review it. Thank you very much. Enjoy. Doris Visits.